This is why Franz Wagner is the best NBA rookie.
With the 8th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner.
For the past few months, Franz Wagner has escalated the NBA stairs in a blink of an eye, making his way into a territory where he's one of the few who deserve their name in the Rookie of the Year conversation. And even more than that, a lot of people think that he's the one going home with the trophy this year. But why is that so? See, out of all the things he's done, people like to refer to his 38-point game, which is the single game scoring high for rookies so far this season, and as if that wasn't impressive enough on its own, he also owns 4 of the 10 largest scoring nights for first-year players this far in the 2021-22 season. Wagner joins the number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham, as the only 2 rookies who are averaging over 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 3-pointers per game. Last season, the only players that were able to reach those thresholds were no other than LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. To no surprise, they finished number 1 and number 2 when the clock for the decision of the Rookie of the Year stopped ticking. Aside Ball and Edwards, only a few players have actually accomplished as much during their first professional season in the NBA, with some of them being Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Stephen Curry, and Allen Iverson. And those are all players with multiple NBA All-Star appearances. All of that is understandable, but if the season ended today, it's more likely that Evan Mobley or Scotty Barnes would win the Rookie of the Year. However, advanced stats suggest that Wagner might be the one who deserves it more, and is well on his run to overtake those two. But what has allowed Wagner to take such a massive step forward? The main difference is that with Orlando Magic, he has a much bigger role with offense than he ever did, playing for any team at the college level. If we only look at the simple stat, such as seconds per touch, in most of the latest games, he's averaging almost 4 seconds per touch, which ranks as the 4th most among players that were drafted in 2021. And even more than that, if you watch the Magic, it's fairly obvious that Wagner is the one with the green light to initiate the offense whenever they have the ball. And again, that was the most obvious when Wagner scored 38 points playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. Mind you, the NBA champions of the last NBA season. And don't get me wrong, it was anything but uncommon for Wagner to have the ball in his hands at the college level, but he only finished 22% of his possessions as a ball handler in pick-and-roll sets. During his rookie season in the NBA, that percent skyrocketed to a whopping 28.3%. You know, due to the fact that pre-draft expectations for Wagner were modest, it's fairly insane what all he has already achieved. The fact that Wagner can run pick and roll and shoot really well makes him a huge threat to any defending team. Plus, his team is overall huge, with many of them being 6'10" and above, including Wagner, setting screens for him all the time. Just to put that in perspective, even if the defense decides to attack Wagner, that gives some extra space for Orlando bigs to roll to the basket, or an opportunity for a pick and pop play. But despite having the ball in his hands quite a lot, it's worth mentioning that he still isn't a guy who creates his own basket and is, more often than not, relying on his teammates. There's a stat claiming that 84% of his shots behind the 3-point line were assisted by his teammates. Oh, and also, he's shooting significantly better from the corner than he is from above the break, which by itself says that his shots are more often assisted than not. Cause which point guard runs down to the corner to shoot a 3 himself? You won't really find many. Those shots are assisted, 99% of the time. But get your hopes up. There are signs that indicate such development is underway. In college, Wagner attempted a bit over 31% of his jump shots off the dribble, but now, in the NBA, the rate is currently a bit over 42%, which is a significant improvement in just 1 year. Who knows what he'll have to offer in the upcoming seasons? Meanwhile, Wagner is also an individual who thrives when cutting to the basket or driving to the hole after spotting up on the perimeter. His slashing ability, backdoor cuts, and similar breakthroughs are by far the most productive and efficient ways by which he's able to score. And as a funny stat, he's averaging 0.68 dunks per game. This number seems so absurdly small that it might not even seem like a logical thing to mention, but it has significantly improved since his college days. It went up from 0.39. It hasn't doubled just yet, but it's getting so damn close. Plus, he's already impressively good at creating space for himself with nifty moves towards the rim, which is always welcome, both by the fans and by his teammates. However, much like his jump shot, he does technically still rely quite heavily on his teammates to set him up for those looks. Go watch his highlight reel. Most of the dunks and the more attractive plays come from an assist or an alley-oop. According to the newest stats, over 54% of his shots at the rim were assisted. But regardless the more negative sides of Wagner that I just mentioned, once he's able to put the ball on the floor and drive to the rim to create his own basket like a true German freak, without needing an entry pass, he will most definitely become an even bigger threat to score the ball than he already is at the current moment. It's basically one of the few downsides that he has, and if he can manage to fix that, he will truly turn into a powerhouse that all the defenders will fear and hope not to play against. And if he can manage to fix that fast, even this season, in the upcoming months, there won't be any doubt with who's the best rookie anymore. It's Wagner, dude. But until then, his game already looks incredibly natural and suits perfectly into the flow of the offense of Orlando Magic. He has all the makings of a longtime pro in the NBA, and trust me, we ain't ready for what the future holds for him. Not even a bit. Cause it's Franz Wagner, and the German blood inside him is just too powerful to handle.